Hi my loves, welcome or welcome back to another tutorial. In today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you guys how to crochet this beautiful slouched beanie. Get up on the floor, dancing all night long. Get up on the floor, dancing to the break of dawn. Get up on the floor, dancing to the break of... The slouched beanie is unisex, meaning it's both for male and female. I love this colorway and I'll be teaching you guys how to do this. Also, how to hide your seam so you don't know the front from the back. Without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Materials you'll be needing: you need yarn, of course. I've got mine in various shades because I'm mixing the colors like you can see in the thumbnail. So I'm just using each of these shades. Feel free to use whatever color you want. You could do 2 colors, you could do 3, however you want to mix it, up to you. For hook, I'll be using my 4.0mm hook. I have quite a loose tension, so I prefer using hooks that are not so big. But if your tension is tight, you could go up a bit. So 4.5 or 5.0 is fine. You'd also be needing your pair of scissors to cut your tails because we'll be switching colors a lot. You would also be needing stitch markers if you want to get accurate stitch count. Lastly, you'll be needing your darning needle to weave in your ends. Without further ado, and all our materials ready, let's get straight into the video. I'll be starting with my coffee brown yarn, and to start you want to make a magic ring. So to make a magic ring, you take your yarn, wrap it round your 2 fingers, that's your index and your middle finger, this way, make an X. Then take your hook, insert it underneath this X and pull through the working yarn. So you have the working yarn on your hook and the end yarn here. If this was too fast, you could slow it down, or I have a tutorial on how to make a magic ring. I would leave it linked in the description. After doing this, you'd want to chain 1. Normally people chain 3 to bring it up to the height. This might also count as a stitch for them, but if you've been on this channel for quite a while, you know I don't like chaining 3. I like doing a standing double crochet instead. And to do that, after chaining 1, I'll basically make a single crochet, which is insert my hook to the circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through. That's a single crochet. And then to make this single crochet a standing double crochet, I'll insert my hook in the second leg of my single crochet. So it has 2 legs, here, here. So just right here in the second leg, insert my hook, pull through and make another single crochet. So it's basically a single crochet on a single crochet, brings it to the height of a double crochet. After doing this, I'll go ahead and make 11 more double crochets because the total stitch count I want to start with is 12, but this is already 1, so we'll make 11 more to complete this round. 1. Mind you, to make a double crochet, you yarn over, insert it in your circle, pull through. You'd have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. I have a tutorial as well on how to make a double crochet. If this is too fast for you, I would leave that linked in the description as always. You just keep making double crochets in your circle till you have a total of 12 double crochet, and this is including the first standing double crochet that we did. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to make 2 more. Once you have a total of 12 double crochet, you want to cinch your magic ring or magic circle short by tugging on this tail yarn. Once you tug on it, this is what it would give you. You want to cinch it tight, and you're supposed to have like a seam. You're supposed to have like a closed circle. Be careful not to break this yarn whilst trying to cinch. And moving forward, we have to close the circle for round 1. Now here's what I do to close my circle to ensure that there's no visible seam at the front of my work whenever I'm working in rounds. I wouldn't slip stitch in the first double crochet, which in this case is our standing double crochet. Rather, I would slip stitch in the second. And to make a slip stitch, you basically go into the stitch, yarn over, pull through, you'd have that, and then you pull through that as well. Now, one thing you want to do if you're a beginner especially is mark this stitch that the slip stitch made. I call it a false stitch because unlike all these other stitches that were gotten from double crochet, this was gotten from a slip stitch. However, it counts as a stitch in this case because remember we skipped the very first stitch to slip stitch here. Mind you guys, if I am going too fast, please slow it down. You could go ahead and play this. However, many times you need to take to learn this, but just make sure you get the basics because this is how you get your perfect slouched beanie. Once you've done this, there's still another step to take, and that is to tug on it a bit so you have it like this, and you take your hook, insert it through the back of that same stitch you slip stitch in, which is the second double crochet from round 2, and you take this loop that you've pulled up on the hook and pull it through, and then you have this, so you can now work on it like this. What this does is basically taking the seam to the back. I don't know how it does it, but it does it, and you see it once we've worked a couple more rounds. So without overemphasizing, let's go to round 2. For round 2, I would work an increase in every stitch, and to work an increase is basically making 2 stitch in one to spread out your work. So that means I have to make 2 double crochet in this stitch, 2 double crochet in the next, 2 double crochet in the next, like so. And to make the first one, it will be a standing double crochet in this same stitch that we slip stitched in. You make your single crochet because that's the base of a standing double crochet, and then another single crochet on the second leg of the first single crochet, and this is our first double crochet of this round. It's a standing double crochet, the second. So now we've basically made 2 double crochet in the same stitch. Moving forward, you would make 2 double crochet in the next stitch, 2 double crochet in the next stitch. I'll just weave that in as I go, 2 double crochet in the next, and you keep doing this till you get to this very last stitch that you stitched mark. And if you put 2 double crochet in every stitch, you will end up having 24 double crochet, meaning you added 1 extra double crochet. And remember we started with 12, so 12 times 2, 24. So I'll see you guys when you're back here. You guys, I'm back to the very beginning. So you want to take away the stitch marker, and in this very last stitch you make 2 double crochet. If you go ahead and count this round, you would have 24 double crochet. Before we get into round 3, I have to switch colors, and for this pattern I'm working, I quite figured I have to switch colors every 2 rounds, so I just decided the colors I would use, in what order, and I have them laid out. So this is the only time I'll explain this color switch. To switch colors, you make a slip knot with the new yarn you're going to introduce, which is hot pink in my case, leaving quite a tail to weaving. If you don't know how to make a slip knot, I would have it linked in the description. Now to end off round 2 and introduce our new color, as always you slip stitch into the second double crochet of the round, not the first one which was standing in our case, but the second one. So you take your hook in there, but instead of pulling through this brown yarn, you pull through your new yarn. So put your hook in the slip knot, pull through, pull through, so that way you have a seamless finish. Yeah, but this is what makes it more seamless, and this is why the whole process of how I close off my rounds is worth it. You remove your hook from this like we did in the first one. It's literally the same thing. Insert it through the same stitch you slip stitched in, place the loop back on the hook, and then pull it to the back. Oh, look how seamless that looks now. You can now go ahead to mark this very last stitch because pulling that to the back kind of makes this hidden. So you want to mark it so when you're coming around, you don't miss it. And you go ahead and work your round. To work round 3, I just like to put the previous color at the front, the new color at the back. That's the tail ends, of course. So it weaves in more nicely that way. You make your first standing double crochet in the first stitch, that same stitch where all the switch was happening. I make my standing double crochet as I always do, and then in the next stitch you make an increase. So the pattern for round 3 is 1 double crochet, 1 increase, 1 double crochet, 1 increase, and that's basically it. You're increasing every other stitch in round 3. So this standing double crochet counts as the first. In the next we'll make an increase, and an increase is basically 2 double crochets in the same stitch. The next you make 1 double crochet, next you make an increase. And I want you guys to just notice the way I weaved in this end. So by bringing the brown to the front and leaving the pink tail at the back, it makes sure if I had the pink at the front, it would be showing in between them. I'm trying to cover up something, I'm trying to weave that in, but having that at the back and this at the front makes it pretty seamless. After a couple stitches, you could just drop both and not weave them in again, and go ahead making 1 double crochet in the next, increase in the next. And I'll keep repeating this pattern till I get to the very last stitch in round 3. Remember, if you started with 1 double crochet, you're supposed to end with an increase, and that's how you know you're on the right path. Also, for the stitch count, since we started with 12 double crochets in our very first round, every row where you increase is supposed to add by 12. So second round added by 12, so 12, 24, and if you add 12 to 24, that's the third round is supposed to have 36 stitches. So when you're done with the third round, you're supposed to have 36 stitches, and then you know everything is correct. I'll meet you guys back at this point. I'm back at this point. I had 1 double crochet, and right here I would put my last increase for this round. Moving forward, I probably won't use my stitch marker again because I'm very used to it. I know that stitch always hides, so I always look out for it. I just showed you guys if you're new to this method. To get to round 4, we're not switching colors because it's 2 round per color. So you go ahead, slip stitch on the second double crochet of round 3, remove your hook, pull up this loop, insert in that same double crochet that you slip stitch, latch this on it, pull through the back, and you have your seam at the back. For round 4, you would make 1 double crochet in the first stitch. In our case, we make the standing double crochet, 1 double crochet in the next stitch, and in the third stitch you make an increase. So if you've watched my Odumodu bucket hat pattern, it's basically the same thing. If you've not seen that, I'll leave it linked in the description and have it pop up on the screen somewhere. Increases in hearts in circular projects that are circles, always go with this pattern majorly. So pattern for round 4 is 2 double crochet, 1 increase. Here we had 12. Here we had 2 double crochet in every row. Now 1 double crochet, 1 increase. Here is 2 double crochet, 1 increase. The next one will be 3 double crochet, 1 increase. But we're not getting ahead of ourselves. I'll probably tell you guys that later. You just want to go ahead and put 1 double crochet in the next 2 stitches each, and an increase in the third, and just keep up with this pattern for the whole of round 4. Talking of Odumodu bucket hats, talking of bucket hats in general, crochet bucket hats, do you know I have a course on how to crochet perfect bucket hats? In that course, I take you guys through step-by-step methods. And I know it kind of looks like I'm giving away my game here, but trust me when I say the course is loaded. And if you love to crochet, if you love to learn how to crochet the right way, if you want to crochet perfect hats beyond all that YouTube tutorials teach you, that course is the course for you. I explain how to crochet 3 major bucket hats using 3 different stitches, 3 different methods. They have 3 different brims, so you're learning with each bucket hat. And even as a bonus, I have a style steal section. In that section, I dug up Pinterest inspired hats and on the spot tell you how to make them, because you would have learned that in learning the 3 other bucket hats. All the details you need for this course is in my bio. It's currently going for a promo price in the month this tutorial would be uploaded. However, if you stall and you're seeing this later, it might not be on that promo price, but it will still be quite affordable and worth the knowledge you would gain. So do check that out. The link would be left in the description box. If you have any problem accessing that, you could message me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is always linked in my description boxes, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions or inquiries. Thank you. You guys, I just realized I have like sore throat. I did not just realize I have sore throat. So my voice has been quite hoxy, but I hope you can hear me. If you do have any questions concerning how to crochet your slouched beanie based on this tutorial, please leave them in the comment section. I'll be more than willing to respond. We are done with round 4. This is what I have. The color looks great. I'm really happy. And to close off, we're going to change yarn, of course, because 2 rounds per color, but that's just me. You could make it whatever you want. You can mix it up however you want. And if you do make one, tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see. To close off with slip stitch, but just that this time we are changing our colors, and this is the last time I will do this on camera, because I'm sure you're like, why is this girl repeating herself so much? So do this like you did in round 3. Seamless. I know, right? The pattern for round 5 is 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So I just made my first one, which is a standing double crochet. Second one, normal double crochet, a normal double crochet in the third, and in the fourth I would make an increase. So this is what I was telling you guys. The pattern just adds on. From the previous, we're making 2, then increase. The one before that, we're making 1 increase. Here, we're making 3 increase. So you don't need a soothsayer to tell you in the next round, we'll be making 4, then increase. So you just want to go ahead, keep making 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches, increase in the fourth. Repeat this pattern all the way till you get here, and I'll meet you guys back at the beginning, tell you guys how many more rounds I would increase for, because there's no need showing you guys all of that. It's the same thing basically, and come back and meet you guys after the increase rounds are done. You guys, I just finished up round 5, and this is what we're looking like. So moving forward, we'll have to do 2 more increase rounds, and that is quite optional. You could either do 1 more, that's you'd end at round 6, or do 2 more, you'll end at round 7. You do 1 more if you want to get a more snug look for your slouch beanie, and 2 more if you want a freer look. So I'm leaning towards the more slouched, more free look. That's why I'm doing 2 more. When I'm done with round 7, I'll come back, show you guys the width, how wide it is, so you would have an idea if to do 1 more or 2 more. However, for round 6, since we did 3 double crochet increasing in the fourth, for round 6 you want to do 4 double crochet increase in the fifth, and if you're doing round 7 you want to do 5 double crochet increase in the sixth. So for round 6, I will just start with you guys. Make your first double crochet, which is a standing double crochet, second, third, fourth, and you make an increase in the fifth, and you keep doing this pattern round. If you're going to do round 7, when you're done you change colors. For round 7 you do 5 double crochet increase in the sixth, and I'll come back and show you guys after round 7 how wide it measures, pretty much tell you what to do after that. It's quite simple after that. You guys, this is just 6 rounds in, and I realized I have enough. There's no need to do a 7th round. I actually really wanted to make it very wide at the base so I could have more, like, I'll pop up a picture and circle what I wanted to go for. I wanted the part that is slouching to be quite big, but I realized if I do that now it would affect the body, so we would go for this for now. And it measures about 6 inches, which is what most of the base of my hats measure, especially because I've made a lot of bucket hats. I know this is standard base measurement. Another thing I would chip in is that if the person I was making this for, or if the client in mind was male, had a slightly bigger head with dreads or like hair, if the person has hair, then I can do 7 rounds, right? But if the person has like a normal size head, this is perfect. So I'll just stick to 6 rounds. Moving forward, I have started round 7, and for round 7 and beyond, so round 7 moving forward, what you want to do is just make 1 double crochet in every single stitch. I know, right? Easy. 1 double crochet in every single stitch. It's like an endless bucket hat, like a bucket hat without a brim. So you just keep working the body till you're tired, till however slouched you want it to be. So if you want it extra long, you make more rows. If you want it shorter, you make less rows. I think I'm going to make about 30 rows. I am still not so certain, but I'll just keep doing this. This is round 7, 1 double crochet in every round. Repeat that in 8, 9, 10, 11 till I get the desired length I want. I want you to bear in mind that the longer the hat, the more slouched, meaning the more falling it would be. And the base, the wider the base, the more wide the base of the slouch will be. I hope this makes sense. The reason I didn't add another round of increase is because I also want the circumference. That's when the hat sits around the forehead all the way around. I want that circumference to be okay. If I had added an extra increased row, that might have been too wide for a female. That's why I said you could do that if it's a male, if it's a female with dreads, all that. So you just keep making 1 double crochet in every round till you get the length you want. I'll do mine for however long I want. I'm guessing 30 for now, but it might change. I'll come back and show you guys what I've got with the measurements as always, because here we make to measure. And also I will show you my color arrangement in case you want to follow this exact colorway I am doing. So I'll tell you the colors I use. So go ahead and do yours, and I'll see you with mine in the next clip. My loves, I am back, and this is what I have so far. I have made 30 rows, and this is my color way. I made coffee brown, hot pink, forest green, off-white, all for 2 rounds each. Hot pink again, mustard, blue, they call this Omo blue in Nigeria, yellow, black, forest green again, coffee brown, off-white, mustard, yellow, and blue. And this is 30 rows in total. I can go ahead and cut off my yarn and end it here, but I like to do like a last round that makes it more cinched and just closes it off nicely. I like to do a single crochet round. Another thing is that while making my double crochet round, for the last 2 rounds, that's round 29 and 30, I switched my hook to a 3.5mm hook because I just want this place to be a little more snug. So the head circumference, the regular head circumference is 23 inches. This hat, the person who owns it has a head that is on the smaller side, but does not mean it's not 23 inches, it's just the head on the smaller side. And that 23 divided by 2 would be 11 and a half. This at this point, or let's take it up a bit, at this point was giving 9.5, but we'll definitely stretch to 11.5. I just don't want to overstretch it. The reason I did this little change of hook is just to still decrease it a bit and make it more snug. Does not mean this would not stretch, it would stretch, it really stretches. But I want a situation where over wears, like time and time again, once it has been worn, washed, worn again, it would still have some sort of snugness to it. It's not just fitting loosely, and that's why I did that. I say all that to say it is totally optional. You do not have to do what I did. You can just go all the way with your 4.0 or whatever hook you chose to start with in the first place. Now to do my single crochet last round. I've already made the first one, sorry, but I would keep up making single crochet. To make a single crochet, you insert your hook, pull through. You'd have 2 loops on your hook. You yarn over and pull through both loops, and that's a single crochet. And just like I've been making it with double crochet, I will just make single crochet in every stitch up until I get here, and I'll come back show you guys how to close off and end this totally. I am all the way back at the beginning, so I'll make my last single crochet in this false slip stitch at the top of the second single crochet, slip stitch on the next, and I can go ahead and chain 1, pull up a long loop and cut off this yarn. And that is all for my project, guys. Now I will just go ahead and weave in the tail ends inside the hats. I wanted to show you guys the seamlessness of these hats. So this is the supposed front, but you won't be able to tell the front from the back because I hid my seam, and all my seam is inside the hat. That's the wrong side of the hat. So that's what the trouble was. What the taking it in through the back and making standing double crochet, that's what it was. What, let me quickly measure this out for you guys to see, in case you want to go longer, you know what you're going for. It measures about 13 inches long. This is perfect for me. You could go longer to make your slouch more obvious. You could go shorter to make it a short slouch. But that's it for this hat. If you do have any questions whatsoever, please leave them in the comment section down below. I would be replying your questions. Also, I am welcoming tutorial suggestions. So if you have any tutorial you'd want to see from me, suggest them in the comment section below. If you're not yet subscribed to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Like this video if you got any value from it whatsoever. Turn on post notifications so you don't miss when I post any new tutorial. Also, if you'd like to take my bucket hat class, it's called the Bucket Hat Blueprint. All the information you need about that is in the description box. See you guys in the next tutorial. Bye. Been a minute since we kicked it, you've been caught up.